training partner. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners.
Welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bringing you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, and I'm joined by Justin McClintock. And today, we will be bringing you strong takes on why you are not fragile.
It's true. That's the subject, but Weezy, we didn't talk about this. I know we slightly strive to keep these podcasts evergreen, so like people could listen to it in 5 years and it would all still kind of work for them more or less. But there's a single story completely overtaking social media. It is the entirety of the news cycle. I think we need to talk about it for a moment. I am becoming a tea guy. It's my third day with my cute little fucking diffuser, and I went to my local loose leaf. Oh yeah, this is my AA Milne 100-acre wood, 1,000-acre wood tumbly mug. I went through a phase in high school where I liked Tigger, and it was one of those things where like you say you like Tigger and then people just start buying you stuff. So I had like a Tigger shirt and a stuffed Tigger thing, and someone bought me a mug, and like you know how like, has this ever happened to you when you were like 8 years old and you were like, oh yeah, I like basketball, and suddenly you just get like jerseys and shorts and shoes and basketball stuff, and you're like, I didn't mean, oh, okay, great, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't mean that like my whole identity is this hobby. I meant I enjoy it.
Yeah, but I've now visited the Ocean State Tea and Spice Emporium and poured through an astonishing array of loose leaf teas, and I have several ounces up in my cabinets, and I'm boiling a kettle multiple times a day, and yeah. I didn't think it was fair to pretend this wasn't happening in our world, so away we go.
I think that is really mature of you to do.
But I mean, people are going to be talking about the tea guy evolution, so that's
forever.
I mean, like, we have to now, to be clear, I'm not a coffee guy. We're still doing coffee in the morning, but I used to do like usually like kind of a cup or a cup and a half first thing in the morning, and then often have like a late morning, and then maybe a mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
And which was always fine for you. And I have fallen asleep with cups of coffee in my hand many times, which is maybe that's a well-tuned adrenal system. But I don't know what got into me. I was like, I think I want to do some tea. And we had some like bag tea, and I had that, and I was like, that's good. It doesn't taste great, but I'm enjoying this. I'm going to try being a little bit of a tea guy. So I went and bought a thing. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
I love that. I have a auto ship at Harney and Sons, which I know is not loose leaf. But there is one particular tea that I love more than all the other teas I've ever had. And so I said, I don't need to try any others. This is the one I'd like. Send me this one. Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Well, what is it? So, tell the people. People want to know.
It is Harney and Sons cinnamon spice.
Yeah.
And I get a bag of caffeinated and a bag of decaf.
I got both. Everything I have now is caffeinated, partly because like I have a pretty high caffeine tolerance. I was really just kind of shopping by tea. I didn't really care if it was caffeinated or decaf. And tea has so much less caffeine than coffee that I'm assuming this is going to it's going to be like shooting a pea shooter at Superman. I feel like I'm not going to feel this dosage. Yeah. I'm sure that would wake somebody up. That's an adorable attempt.
That's cute. Yeah. I'm fine.
Lovely. Also, as of time of recording, we just went, I thought I was potentially going to be late to this record because we got my lovely wife Rebecca a e-bike, and we were out shopping at we have some amazing bike shops in the area that are very well stocked and have lots of stuff, and like not like try this on for size, like knowledgeable, kind, accessible, patient bike guys.
Wow.
Who like work at a bike shop. It's not the standard. And she's been having a bunch of knee problems, and she loves commuting on bike. She's been a bike commuter for at least as long as I've known her. But we have a lot of nasty hills in Providence, and like the intensity is a problem. So she didn't want anything with like a throttle. She doesn't want to like call it a bike, but it's really a motorcycle. Just like a little bit of pedal assist on nasty steep hills. And I think we have a winner. I think we're there.
That's incredible. What color is it?
It's like a teal,
Hmm.
like a turquoisey teal. It's very attractive. It's lovely.
Like Phil Strong Fitness teal.
It's not it's greener than that, but it's in the family. Yeah. It's not sustained. It's more feel strong than sustained, but
Sure.
it might be a halfway point. This might be the yeah.
It's like in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wow.
Around.
Wow.
That's
That's
a good news
incredible.
from my end. From my corner of Lake Wobegon, if you understand that reference.
Lake Wobegon.
Yeah.
Is that where you live?
No, that's a reference to an NPR show that I don't think is on anymore. It was on for a very long time called Prairie Home Companion.
Oh, I'm familiar with the name and could not tell you anything else about it.
It was a lot of like down home storytelling, and they would have live music, a lot of like jug bands and things like that. And the guy who hosted it was a man named Garrison Keeler, who also is like very well known as an author and storyteller and has this amazing radio voice. And it was just like the feel goodest NPRist radio show for 30 years. And then Garrison Keeler got me too'd, and NPR has standards, so it all went away immediately.
Oh, well, hate that for the show, but do love that for NPR having standards. Appreciate that.
Yeah, they came down, and like as soon as it came out, and it wasn't just an accusation, it happened. It all happened. More than once. The audience also revolted, and you couldn't it's that dichotomy where like it's so associated with the guy, like the guy and the personality. It's the Bill Cosby thing, right? We're like, well, no, like now that I know you're a monster, I can't separate you from this. You're not like designing computers that I later use. And I could be like, ugh, well, you're a terrible person, but I'm not, this computer isn't really you. This is just a piece of technology. Sometimes I can separate things like that, like the artist separation. But especially when something is so personal and around that personality or persona, if you like, I can't do it. It's the same, like, I can't do Bill Cosby. I can't do Louis C.K. I can't do a bunch. I didn't mean for this to be an episode where you get canceled again. But I can't do the things where like, no, like, the whole product, whatever it is just you.
Is wrapped
And
around
now
like
I know
this identity.
you're a monster.
Yeah.
So now it's all bouncing off me. Now like your art can't get past the monstrosity of you.
Right. I can feel this is like abruptly changing topics. I can feel a sneeze like right here.
Oh, yeah.
And so if we abruptly cut, it is because I've sneezed. Like I can like sense it like
slowly moving its way up.
Right. There's a couple of things going on here. One of them is that I'm being absolutely ravaged by ragweed.
Oh yeah, you're having some nasty allergy times.
I'm having a time. It's been bad enough that I've tested for COVID like almost every other day for 10 days. But it's nasty here. We need it to rain or cool down. And of course, Ted, who knows everything. That came out snarkier than I meant it. Ted,
I mean, I thought that's what you meant. So
Ted, no, I did not mean it that way. I did not mean it as a dig. Ted, who has a thirst for understanding why things are happening and the time to pursue those things, said, well, yeah, of course it's really bad this year because of all the EPA rollbacks. There's more carbon and stressful ingredients in the air. And so the plants are stressed. And so their response to that is, I must make more pollen or more of my pollinating agent so that I survive this year. And so if it feels like, yeah, it's a lot worse, yeah, that's actually also a part of deprioritizing environmental protection. So
yeah, people don't remember like history.
yeah.
People don't remember like smog cities in the 80s. Like things used to be much worse than they are now. And I guess maybe we'll find out again.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will.
Sequels and reboots are all the thing these days.
Smog.
We're just gonna redo 1983.
What if it's smog : 2027.
Yes, exactly.
So that's happening. I'm also like really hopeful if there was something made of wood nearby, I'd knock on it. It really looks like we might get keys to Sustained next week. So, when this comes out, you will probably already know that if it happened. Um, but feeling very excited about that and about the possibility to move forward. It sounds like if we get keys on Friday, the painters can come over the weekend. And so then we could just quite literally hit the ground running on what is that, the 19th with
Yeah,
setup, and actually be open for clients the first week of October, which would
that would
be
be amazing.
exceptional.
Yeah.
Exceptional. So that's going on. And I know I don't owe anybody anything, but I try to be as candid as I'd like to be with things. And I think that this is important to talk about because it's maybe resonant to
I
somebody who's
figured we would,
listening.
but I didn't want to. I wasn't going
Yeah.
to introduce it.
You're not going to be like, hey, so let's talk about Weezy's boob. We've done it before.
Right.
Um,
Not in this context, at least I won't.
so about a week ago, I started having some pain in my left breast. And honestly thought that at first, like, this is muscle soreness related, or, I have implants, so there could be any number of things like happening there. And the pain has not gone away. It's gotten a little sharper. And might have discovered a lump. So the tricky part about that is that I'm not currently established with an OBGYN. That is in progress, but there's a year-long wait to establish care. So my first appointment isn't until almost the end of November. And you can't just like go and walk into a place that offers mammograms and say, I'm here to have a mammogram. Like it doesn't work that way. You need to have somebody credentialed sign off on it first, particularly because I'm younger than 40. And so the place where I'm living right now is, well, I'd really like to start to investigate this right away. We almost canceled today's recording so that I could go and try to get a mammogram, but realized pretty quickly it's not going to happen today. Like, I'd have to bend heaven and earth to make that be true. My PCP cannot order it. My OB would have to,
Yeah. Which is dumb.
which is dumb. And the OB cannot rush me in sooner. And so I'm going to make one more phone call because I actually have two PCPs. And so I'm going to call the other one and see if, like, hey, is there absolutely anything you can do about this? The one that works outside of insurance. Maybe we have to pay a little more, but if I get seen quicker, like, okay, fine.
Yeah, there are. I know there are places around that do imaging for cash, basically.
Right.
Though there's also that comes with a couple of caveats. One, sometimes it's very expensive,
Yep.
and two, sometimes it comes along with like weird contracts and or subscriptions and or only they will interpret the images and they hang on to it.
Right.
Now that's not every place. There's some places that do a
Right.
fine job and they're kind of just doing boutique imaging stuff. Whether it's all necessary is a whole different discussion. But there might be that kind of option available if you are running into a wall, and it's been another week from this moment and you're getting super frustrated.
And I'm very fortunate because I have two people who are really close to me who are familiar intimately with the system. One of them literally runs a nonprofit who supports young women diagnosed with breast cancer. And so she was my first text message, like, hey, this is happening. What would your advice be? And her next step, if, hey, the OB can't rush you in, was to go to an urgent care that's attached to a hospital. So keeping that in my back pocket. And of course, I let Ted know. I only let him know today because I've been kind of freaked out about it and like, well, maybe this will go away. Like, yeah, okay, well, that's cute of you to think that. Um, and his response was nothing but supportive and like, hey, we'll do whatever we need to do. And also, hey, we have excellent insurance for a reason. And I've been saving money for a medical emergency. So we've got like this amount should something come up. And something else that I've been chewing on in the background is that at some point I'd like to get my implants out anyway. And so he goes, well, hey, like, maybe like in the best case scenario, maybe this is absolutely nothing, but it gets your implants removed and insurance pays for it. Like, oh, well,
Is a fine best case scenario.
that's a fine best case scenario. So, we'll see. I'd like to keep our listeners apprised of this within the realm of what's acceptable and that I feel like sharing.
Yeah, as much as you want to. And remembering,
Right.
we're on at least a 4-week delay.
Right. So, team, a month ago, if you saw me out in the wilderness and were like, why is she so weird? It's because I'm being bent over barrel by ragweed, and I'm concerned that maybe I have cancer. So, we're doing really good.
Nothing's going on. And,
Stuff.
trying to open a business.
And trying to open a business, and also doing all of that in social media landscape where people are just like shouting at each other, who both believe that they have absolutely the moral high ground.
It is exhausting.
It
I
is
am taking
exhausting.
a lot of breaks and only exposing myself to limited things. Like, I am very well informed. I don't need most of the opinions that are out there.
Yeah, I knew when I like typed out and then deleted several like paragraphs to people who I respect a whole lot, whose viewpoints on the things that are going on I like just vehemently disagree with. It's like, all right, we need to just take a moment. I need to go touch grass. I need to be offline for a few days.
Some sun on my face, perhaps an iced beverage,
Right.
go look at a tree,
Maybe
Read-
sneeze into the corner of the room.
read a book. Yeah,
Anything else.
almost anything. Should we dig into my little thesis today?
Yes.
So the thesis is you are not fragile. And dear listener, I'm speaking to you. I mean, I'm also speaking to you, Weezy, but it's a big problem. And I started, for most of our episodes, you tend to go more, I think you like doing research and bringing some studies and things like that. I tend to like have a big idea I'm excited to talk about. I'll write like 5 bullet points with 1 word each, and that's my outline,
Stress.
and I rock and roll. And I wrote a ton of notes for this one. I was just started prepping it and then got on a roll and was like, I'm just going to write all of this stuff. So I kind of broke it apart into like a what, how, when, why thing. And I'm going to try and stick to it because I think that's useful. But I also want this to be a discussion. Like it's not just me talking at you, but I'm going to make some attempt to kind of keep it in a niche because I think covering all the aspects of this is maybe going to be useful for people. And this is intended to be mostly helpful for people who either believe or have been told, or maybe don't even realize they're harboring a belief that they're fragile, as well as in the best sense, help for coaches and practitioners out there. This is not intended to be a talking to, but it might come across like that at certain points because some of this shit is just unacceptable.
Take us to church.
So the what are we talking about? There's a big problem in the fitness industry, and that is that fitness professionals like coaches, trainers, programmers, physical therapists, etc., are erring far too much on the side of kind of easy, approachable, and safe. And by doing that, they are not sufficiently challenging their clients in ways that can actually create results. And we'll get into why I believe this is true, and it is true. But first, let's start with why it fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
People sign up for results. Overwhelmingly, people are giving up energy, opportunity, time, money to do a thing. To do that, what brings people to the point, and this isn't often talked about outside of like kind of salesy circles, is that they're usually feeling some significant discomfort. Like they feel a need for change. They're stuck, they're trapped, they're frustrated, they're in pain, they're driven. They really want something. And the fitness wellness industry promises they have a solution.
Right.
Awesome. So the person finds the thing, shows up, puts their dollar down, they buy the clothes, they clear their schedule, they show up and they do the damn thing, and nothing happens. Or not enough happens. And they know it's not enough. They feel it. They know it isn't really working. They know what they wanted isn't happening. They may not realize why. A lot of people assume it's their fault, that they're doing something wrong. It's something wrong with them, but they know they're not getting what they came for. It can also create fear for clients around intensity in general and movements and modalities specifically. Like if a coach tells someone to avoid an exercise or that an exercise is dangerous, or they're told that a type of movement is a bad idea, or there's no reason to go that heavy, there's no reason to go that hard, no one needs to go that long, they can learn to be afraid of what's on the other side of a certain level of kind of perceived
Right.
intensity. And that
Yeah.
makes people believe they're fragile. It makes people believe it's very easy to go too hard, too far. All of these things they can't possibly handle and will break them. And it's just not fucking true.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I mean, I can think of several clients who, upon the start, like, we're generally not somebody's first stop,
Yeah. Ditto. Yeah.
right? Um, Somebody usually tries to take a discount route, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and then ends up at our door with this suitcase full of beliefs about what they're capable of. And my corrective exercise specialist that I work with said that I should be avoiding this, this, and this. So I would like to continue avoiding this, this, and
My
this. When
chiropractor said my legs are different lengths.
right. Or my massage therapist said my traps are hanging on for dear life, which is a direct quote from a client recently.
My doctor told me I have the knees of an 80-year-old man.
What does that mean? What
Yeah.
does that mean? Are you an 80-year-old man? If so, then we can't possibly know that that is or is not true. Insane. Insane.
Yeah.
So we encounter these people with these suitcases of belief about what they're capable of, what they can do, what will hurt them, what are like the safe parentheses for them to stay in, when in fact, the thing just outside the parentheses is the thing that they need to be doing to get on the other side of what they want. And they believe that that thing is not for them. I cannot do that. That is scary and harmful and will be to my detriment. And it is the threshold I need to cross to get to big shiny trophy at the end.
It's
And
exactly this. This
yeah,
is the
and it can be
big,
so
ugly,
hard.
unpleasant problem is that if the stimulus isn't sufficient, then there's nothing to adapt to. And people, they can't progress because they haven't been adequately challenged. So that it's impossible. They're nothing. They're treading water. They might be treading water in a bunch of different ways and a bunch of different modalities, a bunch of different classes, but it's not enough to move the needle in the way they need it and want it moved.
Mhm.
And it's not happening. And this happens to sort of going to like the who, right? I said I was going to try and break this out into some sections. Who does this happen to? Tons of people. Like
So many.
a very short list I made is beginners, people new to training, injured people, pregnant people, overweight people, people with various medical conditions, stressed people, anxious people, elderly people, people who aren't very good at communicating their needs, especially around fitness, and women. All very frequently not nearly challenged enough in the ways that they need to be. And the nasty truth in a lot of fitness, certainly in America, is that it is my perception that almost anyone who isn't obviously in like the cool kids fitness club, who by like looking at them from 30 feet away, you can be like, oh yeah, you do fitness, often gets treated like a strong breeze is going to knock them over and break them. And anything over a 3-pound pink dumbbell is going to permanently injure them,
Mhm.
and treated like they're incredibly fragile.
Yes. I agree with this wholeheartedly, and I cannot tell you how many times people, particularly women or people who identify as women, um, come in and are terrified to pick up something heavier than like a 12.5 pound dumbbell. Right. This is the heaviest that my boutique gym goes to. Like, I would never go heavier than that. All right. We have this full list of goals that is important to you, and these things are on the other side of like 25s.
Exactly. And you're here. We're doing something different. You would still be there if it was working. But even that idea, being in a room where the heaviest weight is
Yeah.
12.5 pounds, that has a psychological effect on people.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, these people are incredibly successful. And look at my instructor. They're so incredibly fit and they're here. So no one needs more than 12.5 pounds. Why would all those dummies at, fill in the blank gym sling heavy weight around are just ego lifting and they get hurt all the time Nobody needs this. It's a bad idea to do anything outside of these parameters. And you can, the right person could be incredibly successful with 5-pound dumbbells for the right person if it's enough of a challenge. For most people, for most movements, it's not going to be. And this happens sort of the where this happens friggin' everywhere. Like, yes, this happens in group classes. It happens in online programs. It absolutely happens with one-on-one work, both in person and online. It happens in physical therapy settings, both high-end boutique cash only and larger group clinical settings. Everywhere people are doing fitness and movement, this is happening. I'm not saying we're the only two doing the right thing, but this is a massive problem across the sort of industry as a whole.
Right. I also am not going to say that I do it right all the time, right? Like there are absolutely instances where I've got it wrong, either undershoot or overshoot. And it's important to acknowledge that people are not made of glass.
Yep. And we've talked about this a lot around pain and injuries, but for almost everyone, kind of getting stronger, getting better, feeling better, having more, being able to be more capable in some sense, there's going to be some discomfort that comes along with this.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be every day. It doesn't need to be every movement. Soreness is a very poor correlation as far as how good your workout is. Unfortunately, it would be cool if we knew the next day, oh, that was a good workout because I'm sore. Being sore and good workouts, unfortunately, don't affect each other, but you will be sore sometimes. You will be uncomfortable sometimes. Some movements are going to be uncomfortable doing them. Some movements will make you feel uncomfortable later. Like you might get a little banged up. These I don't want you to. We don't want you to get injured, and we're not. This isn't like a ride the lightning right to the edge kind of call here. But so many people are 10 steps from the line they need to be at and standing there. And if we could just get them to the appropriate, safe, correct line, so many people could get so much more juice out of what they're doing right now without changing massively other things than adjusting the stimulus.
I think this would be a nice podcast to listen to side by side with I Got Hurt, Now What? And so if you haven't listened to that, after this one wraps, go back and listen to that one, because it can be really tricky, particularly for people who are dealing with chronic pain or some type of scary new diagnosis. Like, how do I know if what I'm doing is too much for my body, right? Applying the pain rules to that and approaching things with curiosity and not I'm looking for all the things I can't do.
Yeah, completely. And this disconnect between like what fitness types are offering people and what people are capable of, the fact that it permeates everything tells me that it's a significant kind of mindset problem, mostly with the practitioners, not exclusively. Like this is also a lot of practitioners, be it coaches, trainers, PTs, whatever. When someone comes to them and says, oh, these dumbbells hurt my hands, or, oh, that's too heavy, I can't do that, or, oh, this is too uncomfortable, taking that at face value and saying, oh, okay, no problem, we can go lighter, that's fine. Whereas if that person laid down their money and showed up and you said you would do the thing, sometimes that means you have to have the difficult conversation of, whoa. You said you want to be stronger and you said you want to be toned. And we talk about how that actually means changing body composition and putting on some muscle mass to change the shape of your body. That's like, we have to build muscle and you're too strong to use these pink dumbbells now. Maybe at one point you weren't. Maybe they were perfect 3 years ago, but they're not right now. So it's actually not ethical for me to let you do that anymore. What do you think about that?
And if this is hurting your hands, or if insert any other, like, call it semi-legitimate obstacle, great. There's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. We can do this a different way. And also, I'm not going to give you what you're asking for if it is in opposition to what I know that you want and what you have communicated is important to you. I just straight up won't do it. I'll sooner, if we're consistently running into that same wall, I'll sooner have a conversation about, I'm not sure that I'm the right person for this, for you.
Yeah, which is also totally okay.
Yeah,
like that's
totally
happened to me. I have
Yeah.
people who I'm still dear friends with today. We're like, we're just not a good fit. We should stop right now. You don't like this. Honestly, I don't like this. We should bail. So how does this happen? Like, what does it look like? And I think this is useful for both people to look out for and for coaches, trainers, etc., to kind of be on the lookout for. And the sort of general categories I drew up were it's exercises, weights, standards, volume, frequency, and intensity. Exercise being the big one, which is sort of exercise selection. And this ties in maybe to sort of weight selection, but exercises that are kind of quote unquote too easy, too approachable, avoiding free weights, dumbbells, barbells in general, just to avoid them, even if it might be the most useful option. It could be avoiding deadlifts because they're dangerous. It could be avoiding sprinting because you think someone can't handle it. Avoiding things that might be uncomfortable. If you are avoiding things that might be uncomfortable, the other side of that is I am staying in my comfort zone. I'm only
Forever.
staying in my comfort zone because I'm avoiding things that are uncomfortable. The change doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Avoiding movements that require a little more coaching or a little more explanation or might come with preconceived notions. And this could be putting men on the little adductor machine, and it could be having women bench press barbells. I do both. And they're hugely successful in the right context with those people. But sometimes that feels like an ask. And sometimes you have to have a discussion around how, no, this isn't whatever, only a glute machine that only women should be doing. It's incredibly useful. And if you want your squats to be better, you need stronger adductors. So we're going to do this thing. Or you're strong enough to do this kind of compound pushing. It's absolutely great. There's
Let's
no
do
reason you
it.
should be afraid of it. Like, we need to get you under a barbell. Exercise selection is a big one, which I guess kind of goes with weight selection, right? It could be, oh, you're squatting, but you're never giving them more than, whatever, the 7.5 pound dumbbell when they should really be using the 15s, or asking them to, move a little slower because they haven't felt what it's like to push against significant weight before. And the first time you do that, that's scary. You're literally creating new neural pathways. When you feel something, you're like, oh no, I shouldn't be doing this. This is scary. And you keep moving and you overcome, and then you are successful. You're mapping new pathways in your brain, but that's a change that has to be made. And that's not easy, and it's not comfortable. I also think this kind of ties in with lax standards, like letting people squat less than their most efficient, effective squat, right? I don't really care where you are at in relation to parallel, unless we're talking competition. But if your effective mobility is well below parallel, we're not going to keep you above parallel squatting,
We're
because
not going to
you're
quarter
strong
squat.
enough to, we're going to do the whole thing. If a quarter squat is your full effective mobility, great, I'm
Right.
on board. But we're not going halfway just because it's easy, or just because it's scary, or just because it's uncomfortable. Is this good, or am I just screaming at people?
No, I think this is great. I think
Okay.
this is great. And I had a run-in with this literally this morning with a client. Hypermobile, a ton of other diagnoses, a really interesting, complicated client who I enjoy the challenge of working with. And we were back squatting today, which is something that we've built up to over almost a year. It makes them feel resilient. And today, on the first set of them, knees and one Achilles tendon were feeling not great. And I could see like the mental pathway for this person like starting to like unravel. Because that's arguably been the hardest and also the most important work that we've been doing is on unpacking these beliefs, these suitcases that this person is carrying about what their body is capable of and what it is not, and what will just like hunt them over the edge of their capacity and capability to exist. And just said, hey, I can tell that that felt a little uncomfortable. I would like you to do it again. We're going to put your heels on a little bit of an elevation, and we're going to slow it down to 3 counts down, 3 counts up, just to give your brain a chance to catch up to your body. If it still feels as bad, we will move on. Is that fair? And they like kind of reluctantly like, I don't know what this is going to mean. It's like it will either confirm or alter what you already believe to be true. Can we try? Yeah. Felt great, right? Felt totally different. Oh yeah, that I'm not feeling it that time. Great. Can you see how that was a mental roadblock, not a physical one? Yeah. Can you see how it's usually that way? Yeah.
And in the hands of a less capable trainer, that person would have understandably stopped back squatting, unloaded, maybe left the gym for the day, maybe done something else, and maybe not back squatted at least for months, maybe ever again. Because, oh, when I get back squat, I hurt myself. I can't back squat. Actually, my knees can't handle back squatting. Actually, I can't. And none of that's true in the
It's
right
true.
way, with the right prescription, in the right intensity. And they need that intensity to get where they want to go. Tied into this, like, kind of intensity is both volume and frequency. Like,
Mm-hmm.
not giving people enough reps or enough sets because it's hard, and or not having them move enough times. And I see that certainly this happens in like physical therapy land because, oh
3
yeah, I
by
see
5,
someone for
baby.
30 minutes every 2 weeks. You're like, and then what? Well, I give them a sheet of exercises. Okay, but they're with you for 12 weeks. Like, surely the exercises need to change, right?
No.
Well, as long as they do them, like this is our, and a lot of times it comes down to like, I'm not only picking on PTs, I'm picking on everyone. Like, oh, well, this is our protocol. Like, yeah, but does it work? Like, how often do people come back and be like, did you do your exercises? Yeah, I mean, I was pretty good about it. And and by the way, PTs, yes, some people are just terrible at doing their homework. Some people stop doing it because they're 4 weeks into a 12-week band only program and they're like, this doesn't feel like anything. Nothing's happening. I'm not doing anything. I spent 20 minutes doing all my band stuff. It felt like nothing. And I'm moving on. Like, they know it's a waste of their time.
Hey, why would I do this when I consistently am not seeing the needle move in the ways that I'd like to?
Exactly. Why would you bother? Why would anyone
Right.
bother?
No.
So why does this happen? Why are people being insufficiently challenged generally uh, by professionals? I think the biggest one is fear. No one
Yeah.
wants to hurt anyone, my present company included. No one wants to hurt anyone. That isn't the idea. Coming back from injury is a whole pain in the butt, whether it's a short-term acute thing or something bigger. Nobody wants to hurt anyone. Certainly no one wants a reputation as someone who
Yeah.
hurt people or things like that. Better stay on this side of the line, and I agree. But you have to have an idea of where the line is in order to stay on this side of it and get close enough to be useful. And that
Mm-hmm.
requires assessments and consultations and testing and individualization and kind of paying attention. Another reason I think professionals do this is that safety sells. And this is a little bit of the snake eating its own tail. We've created a fear around these things. So now you can sell super accessible, definitely safe, low impact, good for all levels, no experience necessary. Like, all that sounds great because lots of people are afraid they're going to get hurt. So if you promise they won't get hurt, that sounds really appealing. They're going to come in, but you're also promising them all these results.
You
And
can't have both,
you can't,
usually.
yeah, there has to be the potential of something going wrong. And we build a lot of structures to make sure we don't get there. But if you're too far, if it's impossible for something to go wrong or you to get hurt doing it, how useful can it actually be? Other reasons I think this happens is sort of insufficient education and if insufficient experience, especially with a certain type of person. Whether that's an elderly person, someone walks in with a cane, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
No
I
way.
I train 30-year-old boss bitches who like have some stomach issues and want to talk about their hormones. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm going to break this person. Or a member in a group class comes up and is like, "Hey, I thought you should know I'm 13 weeks pregnant." And all your alarms go off and be like, "Okay, well you're not okay, we're not doing burpees.
You
We're not
can't
doing
you can't do CrossFit anymore.
Oh my god, you've got
Just
it.
leave.
I'm just going to wrap you up in this mat and lay you in a corner and leave quietly and hope nothing happens. Are you feeling okay? Are you sure? Okay, because it looks hard. Okay. It happens all the
Can
time.
you
And it's
talk to
just
me throughout your entire workout so that I can prove that your heart rate is in a zone that I'm okay with?
a conversational pace. Like, I have chronic shoulder pain. We're doing air squats and you're trying to scale for me. You're like, bro, you're just like, you don't know enough, and or you haven't done this with enough people. And I don't like insufficient education is relatively easily solvable. Insufficient experience is harder. You can shore that up with education and resources. Like you, for the rest of my coaching career, I assume there's going to be people who come to me and you're like, hey, this is my condition. Like, oh, I've never done that before. It happened about last time it happened like 3 or 4 months ago. Someone
Cool.
with a pretty significant medical condition I had never worked with before. I said, and I was very honest. It's like, great, you obviously know more about this than I do. I know a little bit. I've never trained anyone who has this. Let me tell you what my approach would be, and gathering expertise and gathering resources and making sure we're on the right page. How does that sound?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
laid out reaching out to my network and talking to a bunch of people and talking to another coach I know who had personal experience with this. And you can shore these things up. They are solvable, but beware of not doing the right thing by people or treating them like they're super fragile. And or people, beware of coaches treating you like you're going to break in half. It might just be because they don't know. They don't have the education, they don't have the experience,
Right.
and they're trying really hard to stay on the right side of the injury line.
Yeah. I'm thinking of one coach in particular who I don't even know this person's name, and they train at a big box gym. And I see them working with this one client almost every weekend. And I don't seem to notice any difference at all in either the movements or the loading or the physical capabilities of this person. And this person is somebody who probably some care should be taken, right? From my eyes, this would not be a person that we'd say, like, we're going to test our back squat today, right? And also, at some point, I need to put the loop band down. I need to do something else.
Mm-hmm. Like, I know this feels safe. And there's a place for that, right? Like,
Right.
I start with any new exercise or new people, like, we start far away from the line,
Right.
but with an idea of where the line is, and that we build these progressions and hit these benchmarks, and we get there. Partly related to what you were just talking about, another reason this happens with people is just poor communication. Like, they don't hear what the person wants, so they give them what they do with everyone, or what they think the person might want, or the coaches or trainers or programs goals for people, and they didn't listen to the person, or they don't have enough savvy to hear what they're really saying. Like, they didn't go
Mhm.
through a real consult. Maybe they lack quality consultation services or skills. Maybe they don't have any real assessments to determine where a person would start. So they just kind of get put in the queue and run through the assembly line.
Ooh. Ooh, that could be a really, really good episode.
Which part?
Consults and assessments.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
That's something I'd never considered as maybe being valuable, but
Yeah. Because that's such a big part of how both of us practice.
yeah,
Huge.
totally. Yeah, we need some more information to know maybe where the line might be. And I can't imagine a big reason that I did not do personal training is because I had no idea, okay, how do I get the right information that I need about somebody to deliver something that's actually valuable and not just like, "Ah, confetti, this could work. Who knows?" Right?
Two other reasons I think this happens. So we've gone through so we did fear, which I think is probably
Mm-hmm.
the biggest one,
Mm-hmm.
safety cells,
Mm-hmm.
inadequate education, insufficient experience, not enough quality assessments, poor communication. Another one is working at a really big scale. If you're
Yeah.
designing for thousands of people and you're trying to publish one program, it's probably not going to be the right thing for many of them, but there's going to be a real temptation to make it a little more accessible, and or to
Yeah.
build out parts of the program like entry level, beginner, etc. This is where everyone should start. That's
Right.
far too easy for many of the people who are showing up, and then these people are going to get frustrated and lose their mind because they're not getting what they want. The last reason, and this is a little bit insidious, part of the reason that a lot of fitness professionals aren't sufficiently challenging people enough to create results is that it's not the point of what they're doing. They're there to entertain. They're there to do something else. They're not. I never promised you health and longevity and strength and massive body composition changes. I promised you glow in the dark kickboxing, and you're getting it, and that's cool. Glow in the dark kickboxing, I think, legitimately sounds cool. Is it going to be exactly the right thing that challenges people in a way? No, it's fun. It's a good time. The music is awesome and the lighting is killer and the playlists are on and the coach is a snack and everyone's having a really good time. Is that program probably the best thing for your fitness? No. Is it okay to do entertaining fitness stuff sometimes? Of course. Have a good time.
Totally.
All kinds of fun. I go to a run club at a brewery. There's a reason I go to that one. I mean, it's
And
also
not the
walking
one at the
distance to my house.
library.
It's also walking distance to my house. I would
Sure.
totally go to a library run club though. That's a
believe
different kind
that.
of fun. But it's okay to have fun. I like having fun. Having fun in fitness sometimes is great, but don't be surprised if you're not getting everything you wanted out of it because it
Right.
might not even be the point.
Right. Yeah.
That's sort of my like fragility rant, but I did think it was
Mhm.
important to spend at least a moment talking about the other side of it. And the other
Yeah.
side of this is the programs, coaches, etc., where they just beat people into the ground and only the strong survive. And like
Yeah.
no one can take the
Your
program.
P90X,
Everyone gets spit out.
insanity,
You
etc.
can't hang here. The weight, all the barbells like have 45s glued to each side of it because that's where everyone starts no matter what the movement is. What are you
Mhm.
talking about? This kind of practice is excellent for training a military. It's really bad for sports, general population, fitness. It's bad for business. It's bad for almost everybody in
Yeah.
any kind of like even medium to long term. It's good if you're trying to like build soldiers, and part of that is usually you understand that you're going to break a bunch of people, and that's the point. But the people who come from the other side, that no one makes it out of this program, are also not to be trusted, obviously. Like we're looking for that Goldilocks zone of challenging enough to create adaptation and not so hard that you can't recover from it.
We want that middle ground in between minimum effective dose and maximum tolerable dose,
Exactly.
where a lot of programs are on one edge or the other.
Yeah. Not enough or far too much. And that's why people end up frustrated. Like it's so
Right.
frequently not a lack of effort. It's not people not showing up. It's not them not trying. It's not them not investing. It's not them not believing. Like you and I both get people who have been run through the ringer of multiple programs, coaches, templates, etc. And they say, I've tried everything. That's totally cool. We got one more thing. Since you've tried everything, can we do one more? Because
Right.
I have this crazy idea of testing and measuring and assessing you, listening to you for a long time and asking a bunch of questions and then deciding what the right thing might be as opposed
Right.
to the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah. Rather than leading with, here's the fitness I can deliver you. How does this fit into your life? Hey, what do you want your life to look like? And what type of fitness do we need to get there?
Yeah. And if you are listening to this and you're someone who believes you are fragile, it's incredibly unlikely. There might be elements of you that require different inputs than other, right? My right shoulder is a limiting factor right now. I'm aware of this. We're working on it, but there's stuff I can't do. There's stuff that would be a bad idea because of my right shoulder. There's so much other stuff I can do that's really hard. The right shoulder, it's just the scale's just a little bit different. Oh, we're still in these movements with these weights at this range of motion. That's okay. But for lower body stuff, oh, it's an entirely different range of motion and an entirely different load because that's
Mhm.
appropriate. Like as long as the challenges are appropriate for you, then they're right. But you know, if you walk out of a gym feeling about the way you did when you walked in, it's probably not enough. And deep down, you probably know that.
Right. Yeah. Or if you're somebody who says, well, I train 4 or 5 days a week, how come things are not moving in the direction I'd like them to? We've got some news.
Yeah, and
And the
that
good news is that you can do something about that. And the bad news is that it's likely to require some change from you.
that's I didn't even I broke that out as a category at one point and kind of I didn't know how to do it, but this is an excellent way in. There's lots of people doing that where they're training 5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
But to sustain that, in order to be able to train tomorrow, they have to go at like kind of 70%. Like, and they're going as hard as they usually go so that they can recover and train really hard tomorrow. Well, what if you didn't have to train really hard tomorrow? What if we only had 2 or 3 days a week we could train? How hard would you go then? Oh, well, I would do way more. Okay, so why are we wasting our time?
Wasting our time?
Yeah. What if we're not creating sufficient stimulus because like you're pacing your workout, right?
I can't do that because the gym is my mental health, and if I don't train at least 5 times a week, I start to go nuts.
The gym being your mental health is a whole other thing. I'm down for the gym being an important part of your life, but that's also maybe a fair trade-off. If the most important thing is showing up to the gym and moving with intention with these people 5 or 6 days a week, if that's more important than what you told me you wanted, which is I want to get strong and be capable and work on my health markers and change my body composition and be faster or be stronger or whatever the things you want to work on are, if showing up at the gym more often is more important, I'm down.
Right.
They're your priorities. They're your goals.
Right.
That's okay. We can only move so many things at once.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going to put a damper on intensity so we can come 6 days a week, and it's not, I know people who go 6 days a week are going hard, but you could go harder. Like, oh, but I did this 20-minute AMRAP with all this. Yeah. When's the last time you did a 90-second red line sprint? And a 90-second red line sprint done appropriately, will leave you on your back for 5 to 10 minutes.
Correct. Right. Anybody who's done Fran at full intensity knows this.
Really all out, like 200 meters for time on a rower. Like, that's the only thing we're doing today.
Leveled.
Full tilt boogie. My God, I can't see. Things are weird. Blood is coming out of stuff. And I'm not, this isn't all hail pukey or any of that, but you could go a lot harder. And maybe you need to.
That's a good place to close, I think.
I think so too.
That's a good mic drop. Should we do a segment?
Yes, please. Is it going to be all about sneezing?
It's not all about sneezing. It actually is historical fitness trivia.
Oh, I like it.
I will be kind of surprised if you get any of these.
Oh, all right. Very well. Challenge laid down.
What is the first known mention of fitness or training related to health, not related to building a military?
Ooh.
And you can, let's establish some like success criteria first. I'm going to call within a 10-year window a success.
Okay. Well, certainly I think all of the ancient Greece Olympic stuff was around like men being capable for military. It was sport, but like it was all stuff around being a good soldier, being able to win at war and things like that. I feel like exercise for health, I feel like it came much later than people would think, because it was so much like, well, you would take the air, you take the water, and there's all these quacks around. But actually, like a gymnasium, I'm going to say just pre-Civil War, like 1830.
So in 600 BCE in India, a physician named Susruta was the first recorded physician to prescribe exercise for his patients as medicine. And he indicated that it should be taken every day, but only to half the extent of your capacity, as otherwise it may prove fatal.
What we were just talking about. I'm on board. Hard enough, but not too hard. 600 BC, that's amazing.
When did the concept of hypertrophy originate?
Oh, gosh. I feel like that was probably a lot longer ago. I mean, Michelangelo's David was jacked. So like people knew about putting on muscle and stuff like that. But it was post 1400.
Morpurgo, which I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, in 1897
that late
noticed a greater cross-sectional area volume of muscle mass in run-trained versus untrained animals.
Oh. So like people, that's so interesting.
It was like the first time that like, but
the actual idea of training, like this input, this creates 3D larger musculature,
Hmm. Right.
and bigger muscles are stronger muscles. Oh, but the why behind it. That's interesting.
Right. The like, well, these ones were running and these ones were not running. And this is what the cross sectional muscle looks like in the ones who were running. It looks different.
Yeah.
Huh. How about that?
That's one of those things where like people like kind of got it, but it wasn't actually codified for a very long time.
Hmm. So this one is, people might disagree with me on this. And
Okay.
I actually did not know who this person was outside of the context of something totally different. So that will kind of like tell on my age. Who is regarded as the first fitness influencer?
Oh, I mean, my instinct is to say Jack LaLanne.
Yay!
Yeah, Jack LaLanne. Jack's the hero. If you're listening, you don't know who Jack LaLanne is. Look him up. Pulling a boat across a harbor in his teeth when he was 80 years old, like swimming, pulling a
Yeah,
boat just because he could do it. Uh, Jack was your grandmother's or maybe great grandmother's crush. She stayed at home and watched him on TV
yeah,
and thoughts about Jack in his tracksuit.
yeah. Um, we'll drop a bunch of research into the show notes if you'd like to deep dive on any of this. But
This is a
the
good time to
article,
say when you need to send me research because I think
yeah,
we've already released some episodes where we're like, we'll put that in the show notes. Like, there's nothing in the show notes.
there's nothing in the show
There's
notes.
nothing. But
All right, well,
yes, we will. We'll get better about coordinating these things. Yes,
I have the links right here, so I'll
I'm
just
sure
make
you
sure
do.
to drop them into the actual thing that we
Now
use.
people know who writes the show notes because you have all the links and they're not showing up in the show notes.
Yeah, it's not me. I don't. If you're consuming this, know that I was only a part of the yap phase, and I did not do anything else.
That's the whole. That's the product. It's the only thing people care about.
That's right. I'm here to yap. I'm not here to edit or do social media or moderate Spotify comments. Here to yap about Ted. Um, so the article is called Jack LaLanne, Founding Father of Fitness, and it's an NPR article.
Nice.
What is the first recorded use of steroids?
Ooh. Okay. Now
Isolated.
isolated, like specifically anabolic or just steroids?
Anabolic.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Because steroids are generally anti-inflammatory that like used all kinds of stuff for anabolic. So deliberately something that's going to put on size. I know that they were doing it in the 70s, which
Hmm.
meant they had to know about it for a while. I wonder if it was on people or animals first. Because making animals bigger is bigger money than making people bigger for the
Hmm.
most part. I'm gonna say this was part of like industrial, like the post-war industrial 1951.
You're close. Testosterone was first isolated in the 1930s.
Oh, I feel okay about that. It's
Yeah,
close. Yeah.
that is close. Wide use followed in 1980.
Okay. Yeah. And that's the effective pumping iron. That's what that is.
Right. Right, right. When was the first greater than 700-pound one rep deadlift formally recorded?
Oh, I feel like it wasn't that long ago.
It was not.
Because there's been a whole Thor just did, I think, 10:05 recently.
Close.
Um, but over 700, I'm gonna say like 85.
You're in the ballpark. 1964 in York, Pennsylvania.
Oh, of course.
Yep. Terry Todd, 710, and Wilbur Miller, 715, held the first recorded greater than 700s in York.
Wow. These are big people in
Yep.
York.
Yep.
York. I don't know if York still makes stuff. York made all the fitness equipment for a while.
I know that one of the gyms that I associate with has some York
Okay.
Hex dumbbells. So I mean, they're not brand
Either they're
new.
still around or they're pretty indestructible.
Right. Yeah. They've held up. I like them because they have a slightly smaller grip than
Yes.
like a Rogue dumbbell.
Mhm.
It's a thinner handle. And I have very small fingies.
Yeah, you're so tiny.
I appreciate that. I have My ring finger is a size 4 1/4, if you can believe that.
I don't know anything about ring sizes, but that sounds small.
It's very small. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever worn a ring.
Really? Wow. Look at you. Um, who holds the record now, and what is it?
At time of recording, I think it's Thor, and it was
That's correct.
I think it was 500. And it was over. They were doing kilos. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I need to think through this. I think it was 505. I think it's
You're
505
very
kilograms.
close. You're very close. It's 510,
510. Okay. It
and it quite literally was like
was like last
days
week.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like dozens of hours from time of recording.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
He's been on
the
a
wick.
tear. He like
Yeah.
did 501 and then did 505, I think, and then did 510.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Usain Bolt, like realizing how
Ooh,
good he was, and
yeah.
then like, I'm gonna break the Olympic record, but I'm gonna pull up, 10 meters from the start because I have more in the tank, and I'm gonna break 3 more records over the next 4 years because I know I can. Why would I? I can make so much money from this. We're
Why
just gonna
not?
keep breaking records.
Right. I'm gonna win, and I
Yeah,
could do it
this is a
again later.
business decision.
I like that. An interesting note on deadlifting is that in 2011, the record holders shifted from being powerlifters to being strongmen.
It did. That's interesting. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I
And
wonder why that
there's
happened.
been like no
Yeah.
back and forth. It's just been like, no, it's all strongmen from here on out.
Yeah. And a lot of strong men, not all of them, but a lot of them like started powerlifting and then kind of moved out of it or did other things. It's often not
Mm-hmm.
the thing people start with. They're like play football and something happens and they become a strong man, or they
Right.
do something else. But yeah, it was, I think of Eddie Hall and Thor recently kind of going back and forth and trading off
Mm-hmm.
records, but it's been all strongmen competitor types for a
Mm-hmm.
minute. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. One more. When was obesity deemed a public health crisis, and by whom is bonus points?
Ooh. As a public health crisis, I think it was quite recent. When was it? I think it's long post. I don't think it was. Could it have been Clinton? I'm going to say 1994.
Oh my gosh, you're so close. 97.
Okay.
By whom was this declared?
Was this a Hillary Clinton initiative?
No, it was the WHO.
Wait, what?
The WHO.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait. There is no way Pete Townsend held a meeting about this. Hey guys, he's not a big guy, but I don't think he cares that much about health. Well, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't know it was a WHO thing.
I almost asked that question of like, and who declared it? Extra bonus points. What is obese?
Oh, what is the definition of obesity? I think it's just BMI,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I forget all my BMI numbers. Is it like 25 or above?
Greater than 25 is overweight. Greater than 30 is considered obese. And so for anybody listening who's not familiar with BMI, it is just basically height, weight, division numbers, right? And it takes no accounting for muscle mass at all. And we know that muscle weighs more than fat does. And so I've been out here walking around at a very happy and comfortable and strong size 8 and have been borderline obese for years.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm considered obese. Should we do this live on the show? Hold on. What's BMI?
Yeah, let's do it live.
Because I was 232 this morning. I'm 232, 6 foot nothing. Just give me a BMI calculator. All right, I'm 6 feet. I am 0 inches. This morning I was 232 pounds. Calculate for me. I am 31.5 obese and higher.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I actually don't know my precise weight right now, but we'll guess it's 165. I am 5'5". Let's calculate. Scroll to see. Oh, fuck off. I'm not a robot. 27.5
Okay.
overweight.
You're decidedly overweight. I knew I
Decidedly
was
overweight.
either obese or on the line because every time I have a physical, the doctor says something like, or at least certainly the last 5 to 10 years, the doctor usually says like, so technically I need to tell you you're obese, but it's fine. Like, well, I'm like, I'm sitting there with my shirt off and be like, I feel okay about it. He's like, yeah, don't keep doing what you're doing. Everything's, I have to tell you you're technically obese, but you're fine.
I
To
have
be
to give you
clear,
this handout.
yeah, like for a significant section of the population, and this isn't always popular in fitness circles, BMI is very useful because most people aren't carrying around a ton of muscle. So, like, as a measuring stick for the average bear, BMI is actually pretty useful. For people who have been kind of actively training and or in fitness for a minute, it often becomes less useful, and that's okay.
Yeah. And it's okay because generally speaking, if you are seeing the type of results you'd like to see and you're capable of doing the types of things you'd like to do and you're not limited by the capabilities of your body, you really don't give a rip about what unit of measure is assigned to you.
How do you feel about how you look, feel, and perform? Are we cool? Then we're cool.
Then we're cool.
If you want to change something, let's change something.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Wow. What a great episode. I thought this was going to get a lot more like dark Justin than it did.
Good. I'm glad because I definitely felt like I was just screaming at one point. Like, I'm just mad that people are so close to the right answer and not getting the right answer, and it's infuriating.
It reminds me of that meme of the people on the bus and the one is staring at the rock wall and the other is staring at the beautiful overlook, and like you're just right there. You're right there, friend.
So close. Just a little bit further and everything would be great. It just look this direction. It's going to be good.
Well, folks, hopefully when you tune into this, I will be in sustained. We will know that I don't have cancer, and the next crisis of social media will have happened. And hopefully you still enjoy listening to us.
Here's hoping.
Team, this is Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We will see you next time.
Thanks, team.
Together we'll